On the news tonight, NNPCL boss says rift between Dangote, Pengassan cause of cooking gas scarcity, price high. Federal government begins Africa's largest immunization campaign. Mixed compliance trails caused by faction of local government workers in Osun State for council staff to resume work. On the foreign scene, France's Prime Minister resigns from shortest French government in state's modern history. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Opayamuni. To begin with a pressing matter, as the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Bashir Ojulari, has attributed the recent scarcity in cooking gas to a temporary loading and disruption during the strike action by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria. Ojulari said this in an interview with State House correspondents on Sunday night after meeting with President Bola Tinubu at his private residence in Lagos. The NNPC boss also said the company is on track with its plans to increase Nigeria's crude oil production to 1.8 million barrels per day before the end of the year. He said the NNPCL have made significant progress in oil and gas output, recording about 1.68 million barrels per day in September, the highest in 5 years, and over 7 billion cubic feet of gas production daily, also the highest in recent times. Ojulari said a recent industrial dispute between the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengassan, and Dangote Production Refinery led to the deferment of over 200,000 barrels of daily production and affected about 1,200 megawatts of power generation.
No, thank you very much. I think it was quite an important opportunity to update the President on the progress in NNPC, particularly in terms of our production performance, in terms of all the progress we are making in terms of attracting investment. As you recall, Mr. President gave us a very clear mandate, which is to grow production to at least 2 million barrels per day by 2027 and up to 3 million barrels per day by 2030, as well as grow gas production as well. So where are we on that, and how are we progressing this year, and how are we preparing for next year in terms of ensuring that we deliver this growth? So that was one of the key areas of my update to the President. So we're making good progress. As you know, we recorded about 1.68 million barrels per day of oil production last month, which was very good. That was the first in about 5 years in terms of milestones. We also recorded the highest gas production at about above 7 BCF per day again, which is also the highest in recent times. But what we're also expecting is that with some of the turnaround maintenances that we've done in the month of August and September, all of those are meant to come back this month. And we are hoping that before the end of the year, we should at least be clocking at least 1.8 million barrels per day, all things being equal. Yeah, very good. I think it was quite unfortunate that the Dangote and Pengassan issue led to the strike. And as you know, whenever there's strike and critical staff manning critical facilities are not available, it's almost impossible. In this particular case, we actually lost significant production of almost over 200,000 barrels per day of production that was deferred. We also have gas production that was deferred, and power generation also was impacted. About 1.2 megawatts of power was affected by that strike. But I think I'm very pleased that the federal government, through the leadership of the Federal Minister for Labor and also full support from the National Security Advisor, we're able to pull together everyone into a dialogue and bring everybody to the table. And now there's been a communique that has been agreed on the way forward. We're all very hopeful that everyone will abide by those communiques. So since then, we've been able to return quite a number of the production back to status quo. There are 1 or 2 areas where we're still trying to catch up. But overall, we are gradually gone back to restore the lost production and the deferments that we have as of today. The increase you saw was relatively artificial because, for the period of the strike, what that meant was that quite movements and loading were delayed by about 2-3 days, right? And because of that, you see that impact. As things return back to normal, it takes some time for distribution to be fully restored. So that delay, and of course, as you know, with Nigerians, people take opportunity. with that delay, some of the people that have existing resources and reserves had to put up the price. My expectation is that now that things are back to normal, prices should return back to what they were before the strike.
While Vice President Kashim Shettima has urged Nigerians to respect and protect the multi-billion-dollar investment of Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, warning that safeguarding such ventures is crucial to securing the country's economic future. Speaking on Monday at the opening of the 2025 Nigerian Economic Summit in Abuja, Shettima described Dangote as an institution and a pillar of Nigeria's economic development. He stressed that the $20 billion Dangote refinery, with its 650,000 barrel per day capacity, was a national asset vital to Nigeria's growth and global competitiveness. The Vice President made the remarks against the backdrop of last week's industrial action by oil workers under the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria over the alleged strike of about 800 unionized employees at the refinery. Shettima said the industrialists deserved collective support for choosing to invest heavily in Nigeria rather than abroad, appealing to both labor unions and the organized private sector to show restraint and patriotism in resolving industrial disputes, warning that reckless actions could undermine national progress.
It's not. I want to dwell on something that is very dear, a topical issue that is very dear to the heart of every Nigerian. Aliko Dangote is not an individual. He's an institution. And he's a leading light in Nigeria's economic firmament. And how we treat this gentleman will determine how outsiders will judge us. If he had invested $10 billion in Microsoft, in Amazon, in Google, probably he might be worth $70 to $80 billion by now. But he opted to invest in his country, and we owe it to future generations to jealously protect, promote, preserve, and project the interests of this great Nigeria. I wish to call for caution, retrospection, and a deeper sense of patriotism from both the labor and the organized private sector in defining and improving the relationship.
In the meantime, protesters on Monday brought parts of Kaduna to a standstill as they marched in solidarity with the Dangote refinery, accusing the well-connected oil importation cartel and elements within the labor movement of trying to frustrate the country's nascent local refining drive. The protest themed national unity against sabotage, reclaiming our petroleum sector for the people, called for urgent government action to protect the multi-billion-dollar Dangote refinery from what it described as a systematic attacks by elements of the oil importation cartel, marching under the banner of Partners for National Economic Progress. The demonstrators gathered at Murtala Mohammed Square before winding through Al-Khali Road, Ali Akil Road, Ahmadu Bello Way, and Muhammadu Buhari Way, brandishing placards with messages such as protect local refining and fuel import cartel and support Dangote refinery. A September 29 meeting between the Pengassan and Dangote refinery management over the ongoing industrial dispute ended in a deadlock after stretching from 4 p.m. into the early hours of Tuesday. The dispute arose from allegations by Pengassan that the refinery engaged in mass transfers and sackings of union members while replacing some Nigerian workers with foreign nationals, accusations the company repeatedly denied. Now moving to politics, the All Progressives Congress in Plateau State has dismissed former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's criticism of President Bola Tinubu's recent visit to Jos, stating that the ex-VP lacks the local standing to complain on behalf of the people of the state. In a statement signed on Monday by its acting publicity secretary, Chitu Bamai, Plateau APC said Atiku's attack was politically motivated and uninformed. It will be recalled that Tinubu over the weekend attended the funeral service of Mama Lydia Iwalta, held at the Church of Christ in Nation's headquarters in Jos, the Plateau State capital. Reacting in a Saturday statement, Atiku condemned Tinubu's decision to visit Plateau, one of the area's hardest hit by violent attacks, as a sad reflection of priorities and a mockery of leadership, alleging that the visit showed a lack of empathy and compassion. Plateau State's APC noted that Governor Caleb Mutfwang's public acknowledgement of federal support for security operations in Plateau and the warm reception Tinubu received in Jos showed local appreciation for the president's intervention. Elsewhere, President Bola Tinubu on Monday returned to Abuja after a 10-day working visit to Lagos, during which he held a series of high-profile engagements with investors, commissioned projects, and attended national events. According to a statement issued on Monday by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, the president arrived in Lagos on Friday, September 26, after attending the coronation of the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, in Ibadan. The statement said ahead of Nigeria's 65th independent anniversary, the president visited Imo State to inaugurate projects executed by Governor Hope Uzodinma and unveiled a book authored by the governor chronicling a decade of All Progressives Congress in government. Tinubu delivered his Independence Day broadcast from the State House, the Dam Barracks, and later commissioned the renovated National Theatre, now renamed the Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and the Creative Art, where he urged Nigerians to speak positively about their country. On his return to Abuja, the president met with the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Bashir Ojulari, at the State House. Ahead of the People's Democratic Party National Convention scheduled for November 15 and 16 in Ibadan State, the party's governors have restated their dedication and transparency and internal democracy, pledging to sustain the PDP's unity, strength, and relevance as Nigeria's foremost political party. Speaking during the meeting of the PDP National Convention Organizing Committee Protocol Subcommittee on Monday in Abuja, Chairman of the NCOC and Governor of Adamawa State, Ahmadu Fintiri, alongside the Protocol Subcommittee Chairman and Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang, reaffirmed the party's leaders' commitment to conducting the convention as planned. However, the camp of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has expressed dissatisfaction with the Umar Damagun-led National Working Committee over issues relating to the South-South zonal structure, leadership in Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and Plateau States, as well as the convention micro-zoning formula, with the group cautioning that the convention may not hold as planned if the party fails to review its position. In other news, Labour Party's presidential candidate in 2023, Peter Obi, has warned that certificate forgery risks normalizing crime in Nigeria, following media reports that a minister in President Bola Tinubu's cabinet admitted he never received a university degree. Obi urged immediate and systemic action, including the prosecution of any official guilty of certificate fraud. He made the remarks in a statement on Monday following an investigative report that revealed the University of Nigeria Nsukka disowned the Bachelor of Science degree certificate in the possession of the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Uche Nnaji, saying the politician did not complete his studies at the institution and was never issued a certificate. In the statement, Obi said those who are supposed to be exemplary have become the very source of the nation's decay. He warned that when dishonest behavior is modeled by public officials, it corrodes the moral standards available to young Nigerians. Mixed compliance failed caused by a faction of local government workers in Osun State for council staff to resume work today. A visit by Rave FM News to some local government secretariats showed that while a few of them were open, others remained shut. Lydia Adegbaju completes the story.
The controversy surrounding local government administration in Osun State continues today amid a back and forth over calls for the resumption of council workers. It would be recalled that the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees on February 17, 2025, embarked on strike in order to secure the safety of its members following the violence that ensued over a tussle between the People's Democratic Party and the opposition All Progressives Congress in the state over control of local councils. The issue, however, took a new turn when the federal government reportedly released withheld allocations to accounts operated by APC executives. Following the development, a faction of local government workers, known as the Association of Concerned Local Government Workers, announced Monday, October 6, for resumption of duties, but this was pushed against by the state NOGE, which urged workers to stay away from the councils. Going round the state today, this correspondent found some local government secretariats opened while some others were shut. At Irekwadun local government in Ilobu, the gate was under lock and key, with overgrown grass taking over the premises, showing that workers did not resume. Meanwhile, at the Rolu local government, Ifon, the secretariat was opened. The local government chairman under the APC, Mr. Bolade Nureni Adekunle, said they welcomed the local government workers to the secretariats today, Monday. He also claimed that funds have been received and that work commences immediately.
We are very glad, we are very happy today to receive our people, our civil servants, our local governments, civil servants, and our local governments. They all resumed today. So give glory to Almighty. So we gladly welcome them all back to work. It's one of the great things that happened to us here in the local government. So I must be there with you. I'm very happy today that all the withheld allocations has been released to us. All the withheld allocations has been released to us.
However, a surveillance of the secretariat showed locked offices with doors shut and premises unkempt with overgrown grass. Speaking to one Lati Oyedepo, who identified himself as the Assistant Information Officer of the Orolu local government, he said about 50 of his colleagues resumed work today.
I think we are looking to be almost 50 at a resume. To pay a mega more long second in Borogania pay to pay I want second in what you want him for tanting say KKK. The Kolejaki local government may.
Speaking further, Mr. Oyedepo lamented how the workers could no longer access some cooperative funds because of the lockdown and urged a quick resolution of the crisis.
Akokonu to affect one pay laying salary, how can he no gay indros tamayo yo àwọn alazeku tí ó jẹ́ pé lẹ́yìn tá bá gba salary ta àmọ́ fúnra wa àti gbà náà àrùn yẹn gbà ìsìn àwọn ọmọ fẹ́ wọlé school tó epo owó yẹn là máa fi fún àwọn ọmọ tó fi lọ school ìsìn àrùn yẹn bí oṣù mẹ́jọ ní tí mo fẹ́ ká mọ̀ ni pé tí erin méjì bá ń jà kókó abẹ́ rẹ̀ ló máa jẹ àwa ní kókó abẹ́ wọn àwọn alágbára méjì ní ń jà tí wọ́n sì ní ó sì ní tí ìtàmọ́ gíga ẹ̀yẹn mọ́ àti gíga yìí ó ti sú wa.
Elsewhere, it was a no-show at both Oshogbo and Olorunda local government secretariats. Though the gates were opened and persons seen dispersed across the premises, no local government workers were in sight. Also, this correspondent was turned back by political officials seen at the Olorunda local government secretariat and declined to speak with the press. In the meantime, the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOGE, in a statement today debunked reports that its workers resumed work. It clarified that its members shunned the directive to resume work by what they called an APC-sponsored group within the state NOGE. Lydia Adegbaju, Western Spring Television News.
Now talking health, the federal government has flagged off the campaign for measles, polio, HPV immunization vaccines, and other neglected tropical diseases interventions across the country. The event was held on Monday at the banquet hall of State House in Abuja, the nation's capital. It aims to eliminate measles by the year 2030 through strengthened routine immunization, enhanced surveillance and outbreak response, integration of measles and rubella initiatives into primary health care, and promotion of innovative technologies, with 16 million children expected to be vaccinated during the exercise. The integrated campaign targets children between the ages of 9 and 14 years with the measles rubella vaccine. Dignitaries present at the event included the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Saad Abubakar, the Oni of Ife, Obadiah Enito Gusi, the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Daniel Oko, and the representatives of international development partners, among others.
I think we are truly in a historic moment in our health system with the launch of this largest integrated campaign in the African continent and second largest anywhere in the world. And this is not only about vaccination. It is about boldly reimagining how we deliver health services to our people, getting as close to the people as we can. And at the heart of this bold step is a vision and commitment of our President, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, whose prioritization of health under his Renewed Hope agenda has provided the enabling environment for the reforms and innovations we are undertaking, such as this. His leadership is already repositioning health as a central pillar of our national development agenda.
So why did Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention urge state governments across the country to strengthen some national emergency preparedness and response in order to boost health security reforms under the Nigeria Health Security Reform Implementation Initiative? The NCDC gave a charge on Monday in Abuja at the unveiling of the NHSRII State Emergency Preparedness and Response Action Plan for states. The initiative, supported by the World Bank, is designed to help states adapt the framework to their local realities and develop actionable plans aligned with national standards. Speaking during the meeting, the Director General of the NCDC, Jide Idris, emphasized that public health emergencies such as Ebola, COVID-19, and other emerging infectious diseases often begin at the community level, where response mechanisms are weakest. He noted that while the NCDC provides national coordination, responses should ideally start at the state and local government levels, adding that many states still face gaps in infrastructure, financing, and implementation. In the meantime, as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, has called on women to prioritize their health through regular self-examination and timely medical screening. Tinubu made a call in a message on Monday to commemorate the 2025 edition, saying that early detection remains crucial in saving lives. The First Lady explained that early detection saves lives and regular self-examination and timely medical screening are key in the fight against breast cancer. She urged Nigerians to use the Awareness Month to support survivors, raise public consciousness, and encourage proactive steps towards better health. Elsewhere, the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, has conducted the court-ordered health examinations on the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. The Secretary General of the NMA, Ben Igbo, confirmed the development on Sunday. The Federal High Court in Abuja had on September 26 ordered the NMA to, within 8 days, constitute a panel of medical experts to assess the health condition of Kanu. In his ruling, Justice James Omotosho ordered the NMA president to submit the committee's report within 8 days for consideration on whether Kanu should be transferred to the National Hospital for treatment. On Sunday, the NMA Secretary General said the evaluation had been done as ordered by the court, adding that the report had been submitted to the Attorney General of the Federation. He disclosed that the association had 7 doctors from the 7 geopolitical zones with different fields of specialty in ophthalmology, neurology, urology, gastroenterology, and other various areas of specialty. Moving to education, the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, TRCN, has decried the lack of qualified teachers in Nigeria as one of the reasons for the drop in educational standards in the country. The Chief Executive Officer of the Council, Ronke Soyombo, raised the alarm while speaking on Monday in celebration of the 2025 World Teachers' Day. Soyombo noted that while there were teachers without required qualifications, there were also those with genuine interest in the profession but could not be enrolled due to lack of qualification. He, however, said the Council is currently taking steps to tackle shortage of teachers in the profession. The First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, had on Sunday celebrated teachers worldwide, urging a renewed focus on addressing the pressing global teacher shortage. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has blamed the Abuja-Kaduna train accident on what it described as human error. A passenger train traveling from Abuja to Kaduna derailed on August 16, triggering panic across the country. About 8 weeks after the incident, the NRC Managing Director, Kayode Okwaifa, in an interview today said the driver of the ill-fated train exceeded the required speed limit. In the wake of the incident, the NRC suspended train operations on the Abuja-Kaduna route till further notice. The NRC boss said some technical staff of the corporation, alongside the Nigeria Safety Investigation Bureau and other relevant agencies on the ground at the train derailment site, carrying out an investigation. It dismissed claims that the trains are not in good condition and said the refund of the ticket fees has been initiated for all passengers on board. You're watching News at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has said that Nigeria needs a constitution capable of allowing its democracy to thrive. We'll bring you more on this and we'll return.